but Swift is faster still. And take something like RC4 encryption, extremely computationally intensive. Python gets utterly crushed in this particular benchmark. But look at Swift. Now, Swift is also modern with features like closures, generics, type inference, multiple return types, and namespaces. You know how many people at home are going, what in the heck are these guys talking about?
The programming classes I took at least helped me understand this.
With Swift, you're able to reduce a common pattern that you might see in your Objective-C code like this, and reduce it to something as simple
down to the visual basics
as this.
Or,
and Swift defines away large classes of common programming errors. They just aren't possible. Now, Swift is completely native to Cocoa and Cocoa Touch. It's built with the same LLVM compiler as Objective-C, using the same optimizer and auto-vectorizer, and it has the same ARC memory management model and the same runtime, which means that your Swift code can fit right alongside your Objective-C and your C code in the same application. And now, Swift also enables a level of dynamism and interactivity in development that we've never seen before, with a feature we call
you do like live code or something?
To demonstrate Swift and playgrounds in action, I'd like to bring to the stage
It's like a instant
Latner.
preview.
Come on up, Chris.
It's already compiling.
Thank you, Craig. I am thrilled to be here and to be the first person to give you a taste of Swift. Let me show you how fun and interactive it is to write Swift code. This is a Swift playground. As I start typing, I get an immediate response. It is actually running my code as I type it and displaying the result in the sidebar to the right.
Those classes I took in college, they're out of date now.
Yeah, completely now.
Of course, Swift uses type inference and has powerful string processing capabilities, which make it as easy to use as a scripting language without sacrificing any performance. Swift was designed from the ground up for Cocoa and Cocoa Touch, so of course, I have their full power at my fingertips. Now, I can build anything with Swift, from a social media application all the way up to a high-performance 3D game using Metal. But today, to keep it simple, I think I'll write a simple, casual 2D game. Let's start by using NSImage. Let's start by using NSImage to load a resource. As you can see here, the playground sees I've loaded an image. I can even see it right here from within Xcode. Now, Swift is loaded with high-end features like generics that allow me to get a lot done with very little code. Here you can see I'm using an array of strings and using the functional map algorithm to apply a closure to every element, which allows me to load an entire list of images, all with a simple line of code. Now, all these resources are part of this game that I'm working on, and one piece that I still need to finish up is the flight path for the blimp that we have. Now, this is a simple loop that computes the position for the blimp over time as my game plays. And in addition to seeing individual values, Swift playgrounds even allow me to visualize the entire history of a value over time as my application runs. And so now I can immediately see that this equation will cause my blimp to slowly sink as the scene plays out. But I think I can do better, and that's not exactly what I'm looking for. So I can change the code, and I get an immediate response.
Wow.
Simply by changing the equation, the blimp will now rise and fall as the scene plays out, which is a lot more of what I'm looking for. So now that we have this the way we want, we can take this and copy it, and let's go to the game that I'm working on. It's right here. Now, this is a playground just like before, but here I have a game in the code written using SpriteKit. Now, you can see our blimp going left and right straight across the scene, and I can try out the flight path that we just developed simply by pasting it in and getting the immediate feedback I'm looking for. Now the blimp is rising and falling just like I want it. Because Swift enables such powerful, interactive, and dynamic programming experiences, it makes it really easy to try out new things. And just by adding a few lines of code, I can enable sprite kits, per pixel collisions, field forces, and lighting effects, getting a much more interesting result. Now, Swift Playgrounds even give you full power over time. And with this timeline at the bottom of the screen, I can go forwards and backwards through the execution of my game, so I can really see those effects in action. I can see the balloons interacting with each other and with the blimp, just like that. Playgrounds give me unprecedented power to see my app in detail and give me full control when I want to refine and polish my application. But of course, Swift works great with Xcode and runs great on iOS. So let's now jump and see what the finished product looks like. Here we go. And this is the game that we just built. It looks pretty great. Now, as Craig told you earlier, we've also brought SceneKit to iOS.
Wow.
With SceneKit, it's super easy to build a 3D version of our game. And that's just a quick taste and quick look at Swift. I think you guys are going to absolutely love it. Thank you very much.
I never saw a new language in today's events.
So that's Swift. It gives you access to all of Cocoa and Cocoa Touch. So you can build everything from a simple example, like you saw there with Chris, to the most powerful applications you can imagine. And Swift is going to be ready for prime time out of the gates. It comes with complete Xcode support with indexing, code completion, and debugging. And there's a Swift language guide available to you now in iBooks, along with complete reference documentation. And when iOS and OS X are available, day one, you can submit apps written in Swift to the App Store. That is Swift.
That's crazy.
So as you've been able to see,
so much
iOS
stuff.
8 is a huge developer release and a great end user release with features like the new QuickType keyboard, tap to talk in messages, extensions, Metal, and Swift. That's iOS 8. It's going to be available to those of you here in beta today. And you
Yay.
guessed it,
No
available
iPhone
to
4
everyone
support.
else in the fall, and it'll run on all of these
Wow, it
devices.
even runs on the iPad
That
too.
I
is
know.
iOS
That's
8.
crazy.
Thank
I
you.
was worried my third generation wouldn't be supported.
Great job. It's an incredible set of features, an incredible release. It's been a fun morning. You can probably see that from us. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. Thank you. This morning, you've seen Yosemite,
I'm pumped
the
for
future
Yosemite.
of OS
Yeah,
10,
dude.
with an incredible
Dude.
new
Don't
design,
get me started.
amazing
Like
new
I said,
features,
I'm like,
and
Arrow.
engineered to
They
run
I'm
just
not even
started
leaving
off
the desk.
iOS.
I'm like, I gotta get this drive ready
You've
to
seen
partition.
iOS 8,
Yeah.
biggest release of iOS since the introduction of the App Store.
That
It's
happened.
huge for
Yeah,
developers
but you know,
and massive for everyone else.
it's been the longest time since.
Perhaps more importantly, you've seen how our operating systems, devices, and services all work together in harmony. Together, they provide an integrated and continuous experience across all of our products. And you've seen how developers can extend their experience further than they've ever done before, and how they can create powerful apps even faster and more easily than they've ever been able to. Apple engineers platforms, devices,
Oh, you switch to a different shot?
and services together.
Good deal.
We do this so we can create a seamless experience for our users that is unparalleled in the industry. This is something only Apple can do.
Very surprising. I haven't had
You've
any
seen a
lag.
few people on stage this morning, but there are thousands of people that made today possible. And I'd like to take a moment before we depart and recognize them. Would everyone from Apple stand up that had something to do with making today possible? Stand up, don't be bashful.
Yeah, guys, I don't think we're going to be seeing any hardware today. No iPhone 6 or anything. That's for the fall.
Thank you. And there's thousands more back in Cupertino who are watching, and I want to thank them too, and from all over the world. It's the privilege of a lifetime for me to work with all of these incredible people. I hope
Nice.
everyone has a huge conference. Enjoy the week. Thank you very much.
All right, WWDC 2014 is a wrap.
In the bag.
Yep. And feel free to stick around too, because we're going to be talking about this for a while. So if you guys want to interact with us and talk about what we saw today, then now's the time, and here's the place to do it. But yeah, I mean, as predicted, there was no new hardware released today. This was purely software, and this being a developers conference, they got really, really technical this year. They came out with a new programming language, and they discussed it. This isn't something that happens every WWDC. But Dante, really quick, and everyone watching, post in the comments below, overall impressions and what you're most excited for.
Most excited for is OS 10.10 Yosemite. That is going to single-handedly make me never leave my man cave dungeon that's down here. And there's so many packed features, of course, with the integration of that and iOS 8. It looks awesome. I'm a little skeptical on the dock. I think the dock, I don't like the border around the dock.
Tigerish.
Yeah, it looks, very tigerish. And, but for all the features that they have included inside of it, I think it's absolutely great. Of course, with the new APIs and different developer tools that they're giving these developers to really, really unleash that iOS product that's going to be brought to us as the consumers is going to be really, really great. I absolutely can't wait and want this to come out like immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys agree with me, post in the comments down below and let us know what you guys are most excited for. But I don't know about you, Bob, but what is your one main thing that you're excited for?
Man, the thing I'm really, really pumped about is that you can have text messages on your phone and answer them on your computer now through it basically converts a text message to something that we can interact with on our